We've been talking a lot over the last few weeks about how important it is for the Ravens to stack the trenches up this offseason, especially that offensive line. And one name I keep seeing floated around that I just can't get off my mind is Mekhi Becton. So I want to explore that in detail. I want to go through his background, his history, what positions he's played, how he might fit in with the Ravens, and why I think this makes sense.
Ravens flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So let's talk some Mekhi Becton to the Ravens. He just recently played for the Eagles, was a huge part of their offensive line success. They bought him at a discount after having a bunch of injuries with the Jets. The Eagles got him for a steal last year, and he only played there that year. And now he's going to get a decent-sized contract, and we'll talk about all the pros and some cons of this fit with the Ravens. But let's take it back to when Mekhi Becton was in college at Louisville with Lamar Jackson in 2017. They did play together. Mekhi Becton started as a freshman. So him and Lamar already have some continuity, and we've seen that in interactions with them after games.
Bro, don't be doing all that shit, man. Hey, man. You gotta do the most, I gotta make something happen, bro.
After a successful career at Louisville, Mekhi Becton was drafted in 2020 by the New York Jets with the 11th pick in the first round. He played left tackle and right tackle with the Jets. They were moving him around. He ended up having a knee injury in 2021 and then didn't really play much until 2023. He did end up coming back and putting together a healthy season in 2023 for the Jets. He played 16 games, didn't have a great year, once again playing at tackle. And then the Eagles signed him last offseason to a one-year, $2.7 million deal, which is an insane bargain looking back on it. And he ended up winning the spot at right guard and not at tackle. So they already had their tackles, and Mekhi Becton was essentially brought in to compete and kind of see where he fits. And he ended up fitting really well at right guard for the Eagles. And that just kind of shows his versatility. He played left tackle and right tackle for the Jets. He ends up finding a starting role at right guard for the Eagles, having his best season as a pro. This really shows his versatility. And now he's hitting free agency. He's an unrestricted free agent, and he's going to get a lot more than $2.7 million. He's only 25 years old as well. So as long as these injuries are behind him and he's not a starting tackle, I think that he's going to thrive at guard for a team, and they're going to sign him. Some team's going to sign him to a 3-4 year deal, where he's making probably around $15 million. That's the projection. So I know that's a little expensive, but if the Ravens did end up signing him, I think that cap hit would obviously be a lot lower than $15 million, and you wouldn't bring back a Ronnie Stanley and sign a Mekhi Becton. You would have to choose there. But if you aren't bringing back Ronnie, I think it's worth investing in a Mekhi Becton at guard. Now, which guard would he play? That is up to debate, because we obviously have Falele at right guard. Left guard right now is just Voorhees, because McCary's also a free agent. Even if McCary does come back, I do not see any way that he's our starting guard. So left guard's up for grabs. If Voorhees takes a leap, then he could obviously win that job. But bringing in a Mekhi Becton, who I truly believe can play right guard or left guard. He's already played left tackle and right tackle and then thrived at right guard. I really think we can move him. I think he's extremely versatile, and that also is another reason to go get him, because he's going to start at right guard or left guard if we signed him. But what if there's an injury to one of our tackles? And I still think we move Roger Rosengarten to left tackle, which is what his true position is, by the way. I know there's people arguing against that. Roger Rosengarten's a natural left tackle. He's playing out of position at right tackle. So the fact that he thrived at right tackle for a couple years really shows how much he could thrive at left tackle if you just stick him back over there. And he's versatile and can play both sides depending on injuries. And Mekhi Becton is also that kind of guy. And having versatility to play multiple positions on the offensive line is a net positive for us. I mean, Mekhi Becton can essentially play any position besides center. Now, I don't want him starting at tackle, even though I think he can play better at tackle than he played in New York. He was going through some injuries at that time. His first year he was a rookie, then he got hurt, and then you saw him kind of that first year coming back off the knee injuries. He was inconsistent, but isn't most people. I mean, coming off injuries like that, that first year is not always your best year. And then the Eagles get him, and he plays at guard, and he thrives. So I think Mekhi Becton could be better at tackle than we've seen him in the past. But regardless, he's probably going to be a guard for us. But if we ever had any injuries to our left tackle or right tackle, he's a guy that you can move to the tackle position, and he has a lot of experience there. So I like that versatility. And one of the most important things about Mekhi Becton that I haven't even mentioned yet is his size. This guy is 6'7", 370. Playing right guard for the Eagles last year, can play pretty much any position on the line besides center. Can you imagine our guards are Mekhi Becton and Falele, who's like 6'8", 6'9", both high 300s, almost 400 pounds, 6'7" plus guards. I get excited thinking about building a massive offensive line, man, especially in the run game. And Mekhi Becton was thriving in the run game last year at guard for the Eagles. PFF gave him a run blocking grade of 78.1 in 2024, which is 15th out of 127th. So he's, top 15 guards in the league in run blocking. And he's 25 years old. His birthday's in April, so by next season, he'll be 26. But you sign him to a 4-year deal, you get his prime. You get 26 to 30, and you get a massive offensive lineman that can essentially play at any position. I don't think he'll start at tackle. I think he is going to start at guard. And whether that be right guard or left guard, I don't know. I think he could probably be the one to slide to left guard. I think he's proven his versatility, and you could just let him grow at left guard and be our left guard. And if you want to keep grooming Falele to stay at right guard, that'd be the biggest starting guard duo in the NFL. You got 370-pound guards coming at you. You got Patrick Ricard helping while Derrick Henry's coming downhill. I mean, come on. How do you not get excited about that? I think the only downsides or risk of signing Mekhi Becton is the injury history, but it happened when he was younger. He's put together 2 healthy seasons back-to-back now, so it's not like the injuries just happened. It's not like he's an old player who's over 30. It happened when he was 23 years old, 22 years old, and he's put together 2 healthy seasons since then. So I don't really think that the injury risk is very high, but it is there. It is present. And then the other con, I guess, is that he's not going to be cheap. He's expected to make around $15 million. That wouldn't be what his cap hit is, though. We could get his cap hit probably below 10. And like I said earlier, if you go spend $15 million a year on the guard spot, you're not bringing back Ronnie Stanley, and then we need to just go get a right tackle in the draft and move Roger to left tackle, which is his natural position. I think that would be the move, and if we sign a guy like Mekhi Becton, we fill up our guard spot, because I'm pretty sure Falele is going to be our right guard again, or play one of the guard spots for us next year. And I just think getting a Mekhi Becton who has a history with Lamar, and he's young, just makes a lot of sense. And he's super versatile, man. I think that should not be understated. You're not just getting a guard. He's not, one position. He can pretty much play any position. Any injuries you suffer, you can move that line around and he can still play well. So I really think this makes a lot of sense. I couldn't get it off my mind. I'm like going through a lot of free agents, and I know this is a little bit of a higher price free agent. I don't know if the Ravens are going to be spending a ton in free agency, but when it comes to the trenches, if you can lock up a young ascending player who's this versatile, who already has a nice relationship with Lamar, that's just a little cherry on top. Obviously, his play and size is more important, but having the season that he just had with the Eagles just gives me a lot of confidence that he can thrive at guard moving forward, and I think the Ravens can make that work, man. Building up this offensive line with massive human beings is never a bad idea. They're going to move bodies. Falele is going to keep getting better as well, and I think Mekhi Becton's going to keep getting better. He just had his first season at guard, and he thrived, so if we can pluck him back into guard, whether that's right guard or left guard, probably left guard, because I don't think they want to move Falele again. I mean, you got 2 young ascending guards that are massive human beings. It is going to be hard to get through those guys, and they are a little slower. So if you're trying to look for a finesse line that can move their feet super fast, I don't know if that is the direction you want to go, but the Ravens clearly don't mind having a big guy on that offensive line because they let Falele stick there, and I don't think they're done with the Falele experiment. I think he is going to get another shot at starting, and I think that they like his upside. So why not add another guy that's pretty much just as big on the other side that's already proven to have a bit more success than Falele and is more versatile, in my opinion. Not that we'd be thrilled to have to throw, Falele or Becton at tackle, but both of them have played tackle. It's not something that they haven't done. So I love the versatility if injuries ever strike up. I just think the Ravens would be a lot closer to achieving that mission of building up the trenches if they went out and signed a guy like Mekhi Becton. So that's my pitch for him. I think it makes a lot of sense. Everybody who's been tossing his name out there, I agree with you, man. I think this would be a great signing for the Ravens. But let me know what you guys think. And as always, I appreciate you more than you know for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. The Flock Rundown. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.